Hi, my name is Andrew Roberson. This is my wife, Rosie Roberson. We both are members of HighRidge Church. We both love it here.
We've been here since 2011. We started off jumping right in, taking HighRidge Life class, jumping into kids ministry. Now Andrew does more with the older kids in 456. I do more preschool. We have 3 kids who have jumped into serving with us. We've done Beautiful Feet, Christmas at the Door, which they love. So it's been pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, but it wasn't always that way. So I met Rosie at work. We were both working at a restaurant, and we weren't saved at the time. We didn't know the Lord. We had our first child before we were married. We got married and had our second, and then shortly thereafter I went into the Navy, I think after the first month. And during that time, although I had a good career outwardly, a lot of things were wrong. I wasn't a good husband. I struggled with drinking a whole lot, and I couldn't stop on my own. A lot of things were falling apart. I was still stationed in New Orleans. That I kind of hit bottom, and I had read the Bible before all the way through when I was on deployment, but I didn't understand it because I wasn't saved. I didn't have the Holy Spirit to guide me. So when I finally heard the gospel, that it wasn't about how good I could be, but what Christ had done for me, that his sacrifice paid for all my sins, that was hard to believe. But when I believed it, that's when the change occurred. My desire was no longer to go out, drink, party, come home, real late or early in the morning, But not all of my family was saved yet. I was praying for them, and I was believing the verse that, you and your household will be saved.
So having my husband come home, this totally different person, created a lot of frustrations, not only within our family, but within myself. It was different. It was a struggle. It created questions within myself. Was I not good enough? Why didn't I have the same feelings at that time that he did?
So she approached me and said, we need to find a church. If you want to be involved in church, let's go find one to be members of, because you're doing it without us. So her friend had posted on Facebook that HighRidge is the best church ever. Come to it. If you don't like it, we'll pay for your lunch afterward. And I was like, hey, that's a pretty good offer. I was like, yeah, let's look at it. And so we went.
We did. And it wasn't long after that I was sitting in service, and it came to the end, and Pastor Jeff was starting to share the prayer to receive Christ, and I felt a push, and it wasn't him, but it was a push, and it was like, okay, let's do this. Let's, you know God, but let's really know him. And then not long after, I was like, okay, let's get baptized. And Andrew's like, what? We didn't plan it. It was just, again, it was really God just speaking to me like, okay, this is the next step. We've started this relationship. This is the next step.
I just remember I came up out of the waters, and everything was, just awesome. I mean, that guilt that I experienced was just gone like that. You can't prepare for that on your own. So that was a good gift. And so a year and a half later, God's answered my prayers in hoping that my household would be saved. And it was awesome. And this peace that sometimes really just doesn't even make sense if you try to figure it out, but it's there. And I know it's Christ with us. My name is Andrew, and I chose Christ in 2009.
And I'm Rosie, and I chose Christ in 2011.